Welcome back into Occupy Democrats, and I am wearing all black for the potential funeral of America and American democracy in this breaking story, and this is absolutely no joke. I'm going to show that story to you in just a few seconds, because what we do know about Donald Trump are two very clear things, not only through his whole life, but also through his first term and certainly his second term, and that is this. Whenever he points a finger at blame at someone, it's because he's guilty of it himself. And in this breaking story, when Donald Trump tends to say something that he thinks everyone, not just his base, but everyone wants to hear, he typically is lying straight through his made-up teeth. And to that point, and this breaking story, take a quick listen to this moment recently regarding running for a third term. This.
Donald Trump says he has no more campaigns to run and has definitively ruled out any possibility of a third term. Sitting down with US TV show Meet the Press, the president says he's happy to be a two-term president.
But this is not something I'm looking to do. I'm looking to have 4 great years and turn it over to somebody, ideally a great Republican to carry it forward. But I think we're going to have 4 years, and I think 4 years is plenty of time to do something really spectacular.
They say they are coming up with potential ways. Well, obviously, the biggest one will be a constitutional amendment.
That's because they like the job I'm doing, and it's a compliment. It's really a great compliment.
It comes as talk of a third term hit boiling point after the president's online store began selling Trump 2028 branded merchandise with the slogan, "Rewrite the Rules."
Yeah, and you notice that little merch part there at the end? Governor Gavin Newsom of California is stone cold correct when he says this.
You're not saying you think Republicans are going to stop it?
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house?
And in this breaking story, I'm sure most of you all will remember Gorsuch and Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett saying, when it came to their confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court, that Roe v. Wade was settled law. And in this breaking story, the fact that Amy Coney Barrett, a SCOTUS justice, even goes on to Fox News is dead freaking wrong in terms of impartiality. But when Bret Baier asks her this question, listen to the way she answers it in this breaking story here. Breaking news, travesty. Supreme Court Justice alarms observers with remark on presidential term limits. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett's comments about presidential term limits raised eyebrows on Monday night. Barrett was interviewed by Fox News anchor Bret Baier about her recently released memoir, where she gives insight into some of the Supreme Court's decision-making process. During the interview, Baier asked Barrett if the 22nd Amendment is, in quotes, cut and dry about president serving more than 2 terms. In quotes, "That's what the amendment says," Barrett said. "After FDR has 4 terms, that's what the amendment says." Her comments were made at a time when President Donald Trump publicly speculated about his ability to run for a third term. Political commentators and analysts responded to Barrett's claim on social media. In quotes, "The fact that a news outlet is even asking a Supreme Court justice this question is an effing travesty and clear sign of how demented everything has become." Writer and producer Jordan Zakarin posted on X. "Cut and dry? Veterans for Responsible Leadership posted on X. Anyone who argues otherwise is an enemy of the Constitution." In quotes, but Trump's plan is to run as Vance's VP, have him resign and switch places and serve a third term. Government affairs professional Michael Colbruno posted on X. "The amendment is silent on that, and can we trust SCOTUS?" In quotes, "I would strongly encourage people not to read too much into this from either side." CNN senior political reporter Aaron Blake posted on X.
Right, and the 22nd Amendment says you can only run for office for 2 terms.
True.
You think that that's cut and dry?
Well, that's what the amendment says, right? After FDR had 4 terms, that's what that amendment says.
I purposely put the video at the end because I wanted you to see that little smirk on her face when she says, "That's what the amendment says." All she left out was the "this." That's what it says, until we get in there and change it. Not to mention the concept of J.D. Vance running and then resigning, which we didn't learn enough from the first term, that we didn't put enough guardrails after what Trump tried to do with the emoluments clause and everything else in his first term, and now we can surely see when you have sycophant senators and House of Representative members what someone can do from the executive branch when the judicial branch and the legislative branch just let him have his way on top of owning the Supreme Court. We officially have become a totalitarian, dictatorial country. I'm wearing all black for a reason. You guys, stay frosty.